I don't like that one.
That was genuine. That was genuine terror.
I have those like tingles in my shoulders from that.
Wow. I'm so used to it streaming with earbuds and fucking loud shit. Is like, okay.
Right?
You know what gets me all the time? I have a quack.
Yeah.
And it just makes me jump so much. Anyways.
What was I doing?
You're going to remove a damage from Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, from Black Panther? Yeah. That,
I mean, I'll take either.
That really... I don't...
That one's gotta go, folks. That one's gotta... Or it's gonna be Bits. Oh, it is Bits.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Okay, thank you, though.
You shouldn't have told Wraith that scares you, because she's gonna use it all the time now.
Ah! It's Praxis!
Actually, you know what dunks taste like? Dunkin' D's nuts?
What the hell are you doing?
Pocket sand!
Pocket sand!
It tastes like pocket sand, huh?
Especially for a model that's like
nice.
I know that's always an issue with certain models.
So I'll show that up there a little bit. So there's lots of points of contact here on the Bo-Katan model, which is just super helpful.
We also have Rex and Maul done too.
So that's Bo, Maul, and who's that last one you said? Rex. Captain Rex. I don't know any.
Tim, can you confirm something for me? Do they call it when a homeless person spits in your mouth the Oneonta handshake? Doc told me it is true.
No. That's not.
Yep. Because all of your guys count as 2?
Correct.
This is going to be rough. Okay.
As long as I'm healthy, I always count as 2 bodies, tier 1.
So, buttons.
On your underwear, because zippers, they're out of style.
Am I right?
Oh, I actually do have a button fly today, fun fact.
So I think let's go ahead and go with Scarlet Witch first. We might as well move her up so she can get capped and clapped.
Whenever you will be away from your significant other for any portion of time, make sure the 2 weeks before you leave, leading up to you going on vacation or whatever, you change out her coffee.
All right, guys, so let's get right into it here. We are live from the WTC 2024 in Copenhagen, Denmark. We have our first 2 teams ready for pairing, and they're actually going to be able to do that on stream. They have these dope little cards, so they can kind of pair each way for what they're doing. And let's jump over and go right to it. We have Alyssa here for Eyes in the Sky with a brand new uniform for PCN. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. So yes, it actually comes in really perfect for Eyes in the Sky. So we are very, very thankful to have Alyssa. And we will jump right down to the game screen where they are going to be putting down their cards. So Alyssa, they are going to be, this is how they're doing their pairing with these cards here. And we will jump right into it. All right, so it looks like we have a roster with okay. Okay. Okay, so that up at the top there, we have the top card is Huggy Bear. Below that, we have Tjorborn. And to the left, we have the Guardians player. And the Banshee Bones are now choosing who they want to go up against what. Yeah. So now whoever's left over, they get to put 2 up. So it looks like we have Guardians going into Huggy. Alyssa, would you want to pull the left side of the mat down just a bit? Yeah. Keep going. What is going to be super cockeyed there? Yep. Yes, perfect. Thank you. All right. So for the Swedes today, we have, because there's a couple Swedish teams and a couple Irish teams. So round 1 here, we're going to have Sweden, Good Under Steve, going up against Banshee Bones. So we'll actually jump over to the Longshanks here real quick. So these are those teams. Let's take a look. For Sweden, Good Under Steve, we have Huggy Bear, Anders, Bjorn, and David Johansson. And they are running Shield, Cabal, Avengers, Midnight Suns, and X-Men. Up against them from Banshee Bones, all the way from Ireland, we have Tom, Mike, Charlie, Patrick, Long, aka Longy, and John Foster. Top to bottom there, we have Tom running Web Warriors, Mike running Crime Syndicate / Spider Foes. Charlie is going to be running Asgard, and then Patrick Longy is X-Force, with John Foster running Guardians of the Galaxy. So jumping right back down, first off, or a couple things here. Really want to thank everyone that helped contribute to get us here to be able to stream this incredible event on the GoFundMe, as well as Norbert and Gil for making a huge effort, as well as the rest of the WTC staff, to make sure that we would be able to be here with the most familiar of our equipment, as well as providing some equipment for the WTC to be able to kind of keep going forward for future years. All right, so we have a little bit more deliberation here. Been able to see quite a number of folks so far. I got to play 2 games yesterday, one against Gil on stream. I ran actually Ben's Apocalypse list into some Asgard that Gil had. And I got to follow that up with a really nice mix-up where I got to play some X-Men into Asgard as well. I got my teeth kicked in both games, but it was a good gosh dang old time. Finally getting to have the promised game with Peter, mid-table himself. We have 42 teams, 210 competitors here from all over the world, including Sweden, the UK, Canada, the US, Spain, Finland, Germany, Italy, Sweden, and then several more examples. Poland is here. And yeah, all over Europe, North America, and more coming in today. Gil gave a great opening speech as well, making sure people knew what was going to be going on and what some of the more recent rule changes were as well, including some interesting interactions with Namor and Survival. Yeah. All right, so it looks like we're getting kind of our last couple things here. And yeah, fair. but we will be getting right into it. So it looks like we have Mike over here for the Banshee Bones. Boop, boop. Saturday early morning, I was planning to sleep some more, but then I recalled you guys will be streaming and had to wake up and watch. Kane, thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, so it looks like we have Mike from Banshee Bones, and he is going to be going into ooh, we gotta address that. Oh, that's significantly better. Significantly better on the dice tray there. So that does have Banshee Bones with priority. Let me go ahead and get this dice cam a little fixed. I think the poll got moved. Could you move the whole poll over to the left? Keep going. A little bit more. Perfect. Thank you, Alyssa. That works. Hey, super. Thank you. Thank you for the sub, man. I really appreciate that. All right. So Mike, we know, could be running Criminal Syndicate or Spider Foes. And then who is that on Team Sweden? Or on Sweden Good under Steve? Collard. Oh, okay. So, and Collar can run Cabal, so I don't even need to change his affiliation, which is like the greatest thing in the world. But they are on different sides, so I will fix that. Boom. All right, so it looks like we are playing on Skrulls and Gamma. Thank you so much. And they're going to be playing at 15. Let's go Ireland. Hell yeah, super. Hell yeah. Ireland actually being the only other place in Europe that I've been. Outside the airport in London, where I ate at a Burger King. So I got to try Burger King in the UK. We got some dope coffee here as well. And I believe we're going to be getting updates from some of the other tables is here as well at table 1. You know what someone should do? Thank you for the sub, man. Really appreciate it. Every little bit of that helps us provide coverage from these events, so I appreciate that quite a bit. I'm also going to be doing a little thing called getting the Longshanks in here, so that way any of you at home that want to follow can look at the Longshanks right there. And let's go ahead and turn on one of those bots. So if you type in / Longshanks, it'll give you that link as well. Let's try that out, see if that works live. No better time than when we've already started, right? Boom. There we go. Nice. Like a glove. Okay, so with Banshee Bones being able to go Crime Syndicate or Spider Foes, let's see which one comes up first in the affiliation gallery here. So there's Crime. So we don't know if he's running Crime or Spider Foes yet. Hey, Matt. Wow, dude, you are up early. Always good to see you, sir. So we have some of this dope new Asgard terrain that these gents are going to be playing on today. And we'll be seeing all day here for day 1 of the WTC. And then it'll be mixed up tomorrow. Pretty sure Matt never sleeps. I mean, that very well might be the case. Someone is flexing the GT markers. Yeah. And let's be fair, they're gorgeous. Like both the first year and second year at Adepticon, those new range markers, they're awesome looking. Yeah. So I mean, we were absolutely blown away the first year when we saw those at Adepticon. Those really nice custom acrylics. But then year 2 with that range 4 Wakandan spear, pretty dope. Pretty dope. Not mad at that at all. Well, helps I'm normally night shift. Dude, I did night shift for like 12 years. I still adjust. I'm still adjusting to being awake in the daytime, and I've been on days for like a decade. Alyssa, can you remind me? I know we have Gamma. What was the extract? Scrolls, that's right. Scrolls. But yeah, especially for those of you in the US, greatly appreciate you being on very early to check out this game 1. Yeah, I'm going to be a day walker today. I mean, there you go. Here's the thing, Matt, is that when you're a day walker, if you're a leader, right, that means you get to bump. You can pay 1 to bump. Sure. Yeah, put. Okay, yeah. If you put them in the dice tray, I'll see if they show up. Yeah, that works. Okay. All right, and I'm gonna get the projector going up over here so I can see that dice. Forgot about that. Boom, boom. There we go. Look at that. But that camera framing just happens to be perfect. Being able to see that top scroll there on that Asgard terrain, that is literally perfect. Yes. So as far as official rulings for the Asgard terrain up at the top, that altar, official ruling, and this was confirmed by Thoris yesterday, so huge thank you to the mods and rules forums guys. But if it fits, it sits. If it fits, it sits. If it don't fit, it don't sit. So Gil and I streamed the game yesterday, and he, there's some issues getting Mighty Thor to sit perfectly on those stairs, and she didn't. So did have to move back along the movement tool there. And it was a very precarious one with all the lightning effects on Mighty Thor, where like if that lightning is pointed down, which she was balancing a little bit easier on, she's gonna fall onto that lightning effect, and it's like, well, you're taking your life into your own hands a little bit. So you're gonna be a day man. There's nothing like an event powered by coffee. Just realized the name Banshee. Those crisps are amazing. Alyssa, can you ask Mike if their team name is based on the crisps? All right, so we have. Okay. So a very elite squad here for Sweden, good under Steve. We have Red Skull 3, Baron Zemo, and Thanos, the Mad Titan. Thanos sporting the Mind and Space Gems. And then as far as tactics cards, if you have Baron, out of 42 teams here, 42 have Baron Zemo. 41 happen to have this tactics card. I am a Baron, after all. We also have Recall, Dark Range, Dark Rain, sorry, Cosmic Obliteration, and a Brace for Impact. Oh, it is? Can you ask Mike if Banshee Bones is named after the crisps? It is? Hell yeah. All right, perfect. That is named after the crisps. Bum doo 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 dum dum. And here we go with Banshee Bones. Looks like we are, in fact, getting Crime Syndicate, so I don't need to change the affiliation marker. That is gorgeous. We have Kingpin, Lizard, Ant-Man, Bullseye, and Shocker. Hell yeah, running 5 wide at 15. Good for you, man. Love to see Bullseye, and it's been a hot minute since we've seen Ant-Man run in Crime, but he works insanely well there, especially under Kingpin. And then as far as tactics cards go, we have Cruel Tutelage, Indomitable, Recal, all according to plan, and Cruelty. All right, so it was, if I recall, Banshee Bones with priority here. So we will be getting a Crime off to a start here. Probably aggressively, probably the only time the Criminal Syndicate will have priority in this match. Oh, yeah, actually, that's right. With all according to plan, he's probably going to have it twice. One of the traps that I always fall into when playing Crime Syndicate is thinking Baron Zemo is a part of it, and then trying to spend his power for all according to plan, and then being caught and unable to do so. All right, so that looks like we have Lizard down for Banshee Bones at the bottom, and then Thanos the Mad Titan going dead center for Sweden and the Cabal. Next up, we have the big, beautiful boy himself hiding behind that tree, but not very well with Kingpin. And then hiding behind Sweden's deployment tree, we have Zemo, Baron Zemo. He is a Baron after all. It's hard to hide with that frame. That's very, very, very true. And then looks like Shocker going down dead center for Ireland. And then last but certainly not least, Red Skull's going to be going down next to Baron Zemo, also up behind that tree. And then we will have Bullseye and Ant-Man dead center there as well. So Lizard and Kingpin taking the flanks at the bottom and top. And then Shocker, Bullseye, and that third character that I just mentioned that I can't remember already. How to say thank you for setting up a stream. It's awesome being able to watch. Listen, man, I really appreciate it. Like I said, each one of those subs and everything, guys, that helps us come to these, as well as a huge thank you to the WTC staff, especially Norbert and Gil, for making that happen. All right, activation 1. Looks like we have a Lizard going up, grabbing that scroll. Thank you, Darlo, for the follow. I appreciate that. And then seeing if he gets moved, looks like he will be. Really committing to that move, too, with 2 skulls. And then Collar looks like he is deciding exactly where he wants to move that Lizard. And then let's see if I can remember to actually turn off the autofocus, because we have a great focus right now. And I want to capture that, keep that for the day. Boom, boom, boom. We are gold. So one thing that I have to say about being here in Denmark that is super cool, we have thank you so much for the sub, Aaron. Really appreciate that, guys. That is how we were able to provide this. So greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much, sir. All right, so we're going to go over to Collar, who has an abundance of opportunities to pass. One of the really cool things about this particular facility as well for this event is that it is literally across the street from the airport. There's even a tunnel or like a covered walkway connecting the airport to this facility. So as far as ease of travel, if you were coming to the WTC here in Denmark, really could not be easier to find where you're getting to go. Ubers not needed. Just about 150 yards. All right, and we are looking potentially at a Thanos activation here for Collar. Boom, boom. And let's see if I still have that up. Yeah, let's get his roster total up here. But yeah, so in between rounds, we're going to go over some of the interesting stats that we've seen. Baron Zemo being the most popular character at 42. And then Mind Space Thanos. So looks like he might be looking to pull up a man's. All right, Ant-Man is going to get the cosmic portal. And he is going to portal him backwards. Thanos, traditionally, not a big fan of criminals. And Scott Lang does, in fact, has a criminal record. He says, go away. And we are going to see if he can get that scroll, and he does. And I believe that's without movement. So no displacement there. And then a space gem back. And that is going to be Thanos activated. So with only 3 wide for Cabal, not a bad call at all to make sure Ant-Man can't do Ant things to get all the way to his back line on Gamma. A very precarious big boy being set on those stairs. And he fits. So guess what? That means he's going to sit. Big old potato man going to roll to see what that scroll does. And he also got a skull as well. So Kingpin hiding a little bit. I'm going to adjust the screen here so we can see him up there. There's that boy. Look at him. Cute and bald. And we do get a pass from Collar. So we're going to go back over to Mike, who is going bullseye. Don't know if you knew this or not, but this dude never misses with throwing some knives into Thanos, who rolls nothing on the defense. I mean, this is what bullseye does, right? So we're showing 3, no blocks. And without the reality gem, that's not a crit, but Thanos always reduces damage by 1. So that's going to have 2 going into Thanos. And he is bleeding, which, as fans of Kung Pao know, makes him the victor. the placement of that WTC logo. Looks like Collar has a tattoo on his forearm of the WTC, and that's just how important the WTC is to the MCP community. Yeah, that's true. We did see art yesterday from Pork Roll Protocol, which I'm very excited to see here. Got that fight in Jersey State Pork Roll logo tattoo. It looks phenomenal. Phenomenal. Okay, and that is going to have Red Skull moving up within range 1 of the center point, grabbing the scrawl. Looks like he's not going to get moved either. So now we will go with Master Shocks himself, the Shocker, Pushmaster Supreme, who is also going to be contesting that middle gamma. And then he is a Baron after all. Baron Zemo, moving up to that back point. Staying put. All right, Ant-Man activation. Looks like a medium move. And then, really mixing it up with a medium move. And then, looks like we're going to spend a power. We're going to get tiny about it. And he will be contesting, which is going to have that middle point going to the Crime Syndicate with 2 characters, counting as 4. That is going to have them scoring that middle objective. Ooh, he might be going for a ride here. Really good body blocking placement by Baron Zemo. Not positive he's going to be able to find a spot to sit. Very, very, very solid placement with that terrain there from Collar. Making sure that ex-con can't make that point an ex-scorer for Sweden. Charles, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, buddy. So everyone else, I just want to take another quick moment to give a huge thank you and shout out to Ben and Alyssa for getting Alyssa out here to be our eyes in the sky. We would have been absolutely stranded without that. So we are incredibly, incredibly thankful to have that. Anonymous? Why can't I read? Anonymous. Nope. I'm just going to stop. Thank you for that gift sub. So, super. Guess what? That means for WTC weekend, you're not going to have to deal with ads. Anonymous. Nope. Anonymous. Anonymous. Why does... That's wrong, right? Anonymous. Anonymous. Thank you for that gift sub. Anonymous. Oh, that was right? Anonymous. Anonymous. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we do have Judge Jill. Judge Gill coming over here to see if there is, in fact, a point he would be able to place there. With a good old quack. Makes you holler back. So that does look like, yeah, he's not going to be able to deny the back point. But being able to score the middle point certainly gives him a bit of an advantage. Or at least a little bit more parity to keep up with the scrolls that have been taken. And as far as shout outs go. Another huge one to Denmark itself for having really dope internet. All right, going into round 2, that is going to have Ireland scoring 4 and Sweden only 2? Oh, 3. Okay. 4-2-3. But yeah, Banshee Bones, Mike here, being able to get 3 of those skulls on Kingpin, Lizard, and Bullseye is a great place to start with only 3 of those. Obviously, the contention points or the secures being a very strong suit for Criminal Syndicate as they count on 2 on their healthy side there. This will have priority go back over to Collar and Sweden good under Steve. And I would have to assume that we are not 4-2-3 best area NA. Another gift sub. Thank you so much. Anonymous. Going to Darlo Midge, who will also not have to experience ads this weekend at the WTC. So thank you so much. To Wyatt Durday. All right. This moose, known as Anon, being an absolute champ right now. So I absolutely appreciate that. Thank you so much. So one thing that's happening there, and a follow, Wyatt, thank you so much. And here's the deal. Collar is choosing to be a Baron. After all, this is going to allow him to get that charge. He's going to stay outside of 2 of Shocker. Yeah, Darlo, no ads for you with that gift sub. So you'll be able to watch the WTC all weekend uninterrupted. So after that, I'm a Baron after all, getting some power to be able to charge. He is going into Ant-Man. And that looks like a pretty phenomenal attack roll, showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with rerolls. So showing 6. Ant-Man being able to block 3 so far. 3 total. So Ant-Man is going to take 3. My wife may not be too happy about that. I mean, couples that stay together watch games together. All right, so after that charge, we are going again into Ant-Man with a Master Swordsman, and good thing he did, because he has a lot to reroll. No skulls. Ooh, quite a conversion. With Ant-Man blocking nothing. That is a dazed Ant-Man. Wow, I mean, when you can get rerolls like that, especially with that start, I mean, that's why he is, in fact, a Baron after all. Kane Silencer, absolutely. We should start calling Baron Zemo the Ant-Man Silencer, because he certainly just did. He certainly just did. So that is going to be 1 powered up Ant-Man for next round. Ant-Man not part of the Criminal Syndicate, though, so not going to be able to spend for that all according to plan. So that is going to bring us over to Mike from Banshee Bones. And this is Shocker into Red Skull, showing just 1 on the attack. And looks like nothing. I think he's considering whether he just fires again. And looks like he is, with showing 2. Red Skull's blocking 3. 3 on 3. I think that's just the stun going out onto Red Skull 3. Lots of 3s. Yeah, not a great start for round 2 for the Crime Syndicate. You really hate to see that, Chuck. You really do. So Collar now still, I believe, has looks like a pass from Collar. And that, I believe, is going to be his last pass of the round. So we have a bullseye into Thanos. Thanos, once again, blocking nothing, reducing by 1, though. So he will take 1 damage, and he's already bleeding. So consider him double-blooded. And we're going to go with a Cruelty. So now a Mystic Attack going into Thanos. And wow, that is a Tim France roll if I've ever seen one. Only showing 1. Thanos blocking 3, reducing by 1. Yeah, that's a whole lot of nada. So now he's got to decide what he's going to be doing with his last attack. And looks like he's just going to go for it. I mean, he's already put a decent amount into Thanos, so... He is looking at ranges here. And he is going to hit and run. Showing 2 with a crit. Thanos critting out. So that also looks like that'll be nothing. Because Thanos always reduces even to 0. Dice are not being kind to the Banshees today. Very kind to Collar. But as I've heard, Sweden's good under Steve. That's true, but where is Steve? Yeah. Looks like a couple of judge calls. Going out, but actually very few so far with 42 table. Yeah, no, 42 teams. So 42, 5 players each. 200 divided by 200 tables. I think that's right. Of MCP going here in this hall. 105, actually, I think. How many tables of MCP are being played? Yeah, so 105. Yeah, I was way overcomplicating it in my head. I was trying to do the math, the amount of teams, and then the players, but... All right, and then it looks like we have a Cosmic Portal on Shocker who says, "Go away." And then looks like we're getting a Space Stone onto Red Skull 3 to get him up and within range of Bullseye. And it looks like he's going to be just outside of range 2 of Baron Zemo's rerolls. So it looks like, I believe this is an attack from Thanos into Bullseye. So that is going to have Bullseye taking 3 from the Mad Titan himself. Oh, that was Red Skull. Gotcha. So Bullseye really biting it from the man in red, or at least his skull. So that would have Bullseye, I believe, alive on 1. The MCP special. We should start counting those, actually. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, and he's 4 on this side, right? Bullseye is 4. Yeah, so Bullseye's alive on 1. So that is, in fact, our first MCP special. So let's go ahead and start counting that. MCP specials. we go. So now there at the bottom of the screen, throughout the course of the weekend, we will count how many times a character is left alive on one. Bam Fuzz, 1. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome in. We have a nice long weekend of MCP. All right. So now we have the Thanos activation. Going into Kingpin. Ooh, yeah, it's another good roll here. Showing 1, 2, oh my gosh, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. He doesn't have the reality gem though. How's he doing that? Oh, yeah, duh. The Red Skull leadership. Yeah, so that's showing 8. Kingpin blocking nothing. So that dazes Kingpin. He drops that Skrull. Skrull, I keep calling him Skulls. But, I mean, when you attrition, you attrition. So that is going to drop that Skrull right next to Baron Zemo. Are you able to show what Crisis is being played on the screen? Yeah. So I agree. There is a way for us to do that. Let me just add another text box, I think is going to be the way to do it. That's very true. Why bother leaving someone alive on one when you can just one-shot him, especially a big boy like Kingpin. So we'll put that at the bottom of the screen as well. And a Cosmic Portal on Zemo, getting him back to that back line. You know what, while we're at it, why don't we add one more and add the threat. Boom. And we are playing at 15. We're getting a Mind Gem here as well. Yeah, I got you, Darlo. There we go. All right, and that's going to have Thanos at that back point. This is going to be real rough for Prime. So we have Lizard. And he can't fit, I don't think. So he's got to move back. Yeah. Terrain placement being real hurtful here. So that is going to get Lizard to the middle point. And as he's a healthy boy, he is going to be able to contest that as 2. And that's going to have Sweden scoring 5. And Ireland scoring 2. So the game is actually still close. That was an absolutely devastating round for the Banshee Bones. The Dodger 909, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you being here. And that is going to have priority still with Cabal. So Gamma damage is going to daze Bullseye and will also hit Shocker. Hello from France. That's my last name. Super cool to have a stream of this event. Thank you. Tamorki, absolutely, dude. Well, once again, thank you to the community for helping support the GoFundMe, and as well as Gil and Norbert at the WTC for making sure that we could figure out a way to come here and be able to do this. So a huge thank you to everyone involved there, and once again, a massive thank you to those of you that helped contribute to help us get here to be able to provide this coverage. Good thing it is early. Yeah. So, Cal, we are going to turn that down quite a bit. So that should be significantly less impactful. King Mark getting a gift sub from the Moose of Anon. Correct. All of your encouragement to the two French teams. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But Tao and those of you in chat, I have turned down the sound pretty drastically on those things. So now that those are still coming to come through, please let me know if that is in fact quieter or if it should be dialed down even more. Anonymous is really being a champion here today. So Tamorki with that gift sub from Anonymous, you will experience no ads this weekend for the WTC. So congrats on that. All right, we have an Ant-Man punch into Zemo, Master Swordsman inning. Rolls nothing at the start, but with Master Swordsman and Master Strategist is going to not take anything there. Was more about noise on your end. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's loud in my ears for sure. But listen, helps keep you awake, right? Okay, we do have Ant-Man spending for the beam in small form. Ooh, good start there. Showing 3, Master Swordsman. He does end up blocking 4. When you get so many rerolls, especially with lousy starts there, like listen, it's a thing. It is a thing. The whole point of stream is to make it difficult for Tim. That seems to be the running theme. That is very accurate. That has been my experience. The actual show is making it difficult for me. That's what it's all about, baby. Those dice are actually pretty visible. That's pretty nice. All right, Cosmic Obliteration from Red Skull 3. So that is, you said Root on Lizard? So we have Red Skull and a Shocker, I believe. Showing 3 so far, but there's a skull there. He's going to treat it as a crit in addition to the other crit. Shows throwing a total of 4. Shocker blocking 1. So Shocker will take 3 damage there. And listen, it did so well the first time. Let's roll it right back. Showing 3, Shocker blocking 2. And that's enough. So during that first one attack did in fact result in an MCP special. So let's get that ticker going. Boom. That is 2 MCP specials so far. He was attacked and was left alive at 1. Is that, I mean, this is important. Do we make that declaration now? Is this being left? Okay. All right, I like that. So yeah, not being able to be finished off and being left on 1 is official. What? Oh, yeah, well, it happens to a lot of guys. But this is... this is, So Skull taking 3 here. From Kingpin. So a nice little old Kingpin headbutt. Are we still talking about MCP? What else would have we been talking about, Kane? Get your mind out of the gamma. All right, and looks like we are going to throw Red Skull into the terrain. So Red Skull now off the point. And he is going to brace. I'm assuming Red Skull's alive on 1, if he's bracing that. Okay. Kingpin picked up the skull effectively, but did roll a skull, so he will be moved. And looks like he's going to waddle his way right off the point. Waddle, waddle. Oh, so you don't roll crits and wilds. That's right. Yep. Yeah, crits and wilds, you get moved and you roll your physical defense. So that at least displaces Red Skull from the center point. Thanos still there, still mad, still mean. Haven't you figured out yet that Tim never talks about what he is doing? He is always off topic. Well, yeah, fair. I actually opened up this Goth's clothing store in the mall that I called Off Topic because it wasn't very hot. What's that? Okay. Dark Rain going into Ant-Man from Skull. So guess what? You want more rerolls? Here they are. And Zemo. Zemo's used to rerolls, some might say. And now somehow he's getting even more. All right, so talking this out a little bit. So Ant-Man going to turn small in response to this attack, which looks like it gets him. All right. All sorts of rerolls starting strong, showing 2 successes, converts 1, rerolling again. Okay, blocking 1 out of 3, so 2 going through on the Man of Ants. Cold Topic selling Arctic weather gear in Florida. I mean, that's also a great way to go. So in case you guys weren't aware, here at WTC, as part of your package for your team, not only do you get your lodgings, but you also get several meals. Last night being the first one, which was butter chicken, buffet style, which was real good. Real good. With some gluten-free naan as well served for those with the intolerance to gluten. All right, doing it again. He is going to use a skull as a crit here, so he is showing 4. Ant-Man blocking 2. So Ant-Man is going to take 2 more. So he's taken 3 total on this side. Looks like. Anyway, entering lurker mode. Tao, thank you so much, guys. We appreciate lurkers, keeping our numbers up. You can always do !lurk. That's not how you spell lurker. Exclamation point. Lurker or lurk, I think. There you go. And that is an MCP special. Thank you, Alyssa. So that is not an MCP special. It's just some damage and a bleed. And who do we have popping off here? All right, that was Lizard and Azemo. He did get the wild, though, for the push. It looks like no damage is going to go through. But that will get Zemo off that back point, which is really good. Zemo has activated, so unless Thanos is really able to do some shenanigans here, which, you know, as AMG has said, Thanos has in the past been known to break the speed limit on shenanigans and displacement. That's going to actually be a very, very, very good thing for Banshee Bones. We're going to try to keep our posture right instead of leaning over this all weekend. That coffee is finally kicking in, so I'm feeling actually pretty good now. Yeah. Gotcha. So I like to mix up my caffeine sources. Normally I'm a Monster Ultra white guy. So it's the best tasting Monster Ultra flavor. Kyles and construction workers everywhere have demolished many a drywall with white Ultra Monster. But mixing energy drinks with coffee, rotating which ones you're using, for whatever reason, seems to keep the caffeine effective. What? Dude, I love Monster Ultra a lot. It's real good. We buy it by the 24 pack at our grocery store. That's on me not sending you a Desh with. That's fair. That's fair. And we're going to Cosmic Portal Lizard off that point. That is going to deny him those two. There is Rain and Ghost. I actually brought a bunch of caffeinated powder packets, and I left them in my room. So those will be happening later. And then Space Gemming. Red Skull back onto the point. Totsy Totsy. What a switch. And then Thanos moving for his second action back onto that point. And he is going to Mind Gem Bullseye even further away. The displacement, speed limit, the fart control has been breached. In case you were unaware, here for the Danes in Denmark, fart control is the speed limit. So Bullseye moving up. Going to be out of range to try to hit and run on Red Skull. So I think... So we are going on to Thanos instead, showing 3. Thanos being like, yo, whatever. Whatever. I'll just block it all. Oh, and both... yeah, so Eyes letting us know that he did not, in fact, have the power for that hit and run. So that is going to be scoring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Sweden and 2 for Ireland. Looking pretty dire here going in around 4. And that is going to have Shocker flipping now as well. So everybody but there's one healthy character still for Crime Syndicate. Who is that? Second in from the right. Lizard. Lizard is still healthy. But that lizard is in fact rooted. You know what they say? When in doubt, give him the root. So this is going to be a precarious round for Banshee Bones. Ireland really needing to figure out some huge plays here or hope for some really good defense to be able to make use of all of their characters to get back in this. But it is definitely going to be uphill. So characters with scrawls, we have Thanos and Red Skull. Kingpin and Lizard for the Crime Syndicate with those scrawls. But yeah, Briar Mage, as far as other energy drink choices for myself, I do like Ghost, especially the pre-canned Ghost. The powder is obviously significantly cheaper. But when at the gas station, Ghost and C4 also appreciated. Rain is one I haven't really tried. All right, so Red Skull into Chakra here. With the Death's Decree, we have 7 Mystic going into Shocker. Looks like showing 5. Shocker blocking 3. So he will take 2. Baby, me and you. Oh. Okay. So it is MCP special last round. Not a bleed token. So we have 2 MCP specials so far. Looks like all the other games going on for these teams are still well in their midst. It's round 4 and Syndicate still didn't play all according to plan, yeah. Yep. Oh, they did? Oh, this round, right? Last round? All right, another attack in the Shocker. Oh, whoa. Showing 5. And we're going to recal. Yep, because otherwise that Shocker be shook. Not better on the attack roll, or on the defense roll, but a significantly worse attack roll. So that is going to have Shocker survive, taking no damage there. I mean, that's exactly how you want recal to work. Hell yeah. Not like how I did it yesterday on stream, where instead of 4 damage on my apocalypse, I took 6. That is not how you recal. Got to get a few hours, bud. I'll try to jump on before you're off. Thank you so much, Briar Mage. Good to see you, as always. Get some good rest. Yeah, so the time zone difference for you has got to be what? We're 6 hours from New York, and then you're another 6 hours, so 12. So it's right there. Another anonymous gift sub, this time going to Glenn93, who is not going to have to worry about ads at all this weekend while he's watching WTC. Yeah, so that one's actually pretty easy, an easy 12-hour difference. Swap an AM for a PM, and that is the time there. All right. So that is going to move us back over to Banshee Bones. And what I meant by that was collar. Nothing, some might say, is beyond my reach. So that is going to have Red Skull jumping via Metro over to be close to that back point. And it does look like he's not going to be on it. But Thanos has yet to activate, so... Oh, he is in. Okay, even better. All right, Shocker Spendering into the Mad Titan. And looks like we're off to an okay start, showing 3 with a crit, not converting, so 3 on the table. Blocking 1, reducing by 1, so Thanos chipping in there. It looks like Thanos has taken 5 damage so far. 6 damage so far. I can count. I see the tokens. I just, you know, math is hard sometimes. And we have an attack, regular attack going in this time, showing 3, Thanos blocking all of it with that damage reduction. Yeah, that's damage reduction not to a minimum of 1. Really impactful here today against the Crime Syndicate. Yeah, so the bleed being one of the biggest things that's been chipping away at the old Thanatron, and he is staggered now as well because of that spender. So now granted, Thanos can still do a lot of things on his turn with the Mind Gem, Space Gem, and Cosmic Portals. Cleaning up a little bit on those activation tokens. Because not sure if you followed this chat, but Lizard nor Zemo have gone yet. And looks like we're looking at the most popular character taken here at the WTC, Baron Zemo. He's going to move up long. And looks like we will charge. All right, bullseye. And we're going to Death's Decree. This is 7 physical. Going into bullseye. Oh, that's going to count as 4 crits. Bullseye actually putting up a decent fight with 2. On those 4 crits and a reroll, he converts all 4 crits. That is showing 8 into Bullseye, who gives the good old Street Fighter death call as the man that never misses is off the field. Bleeding Ant-Man alive on 1. Yeah, I said Bleeding Ant-Man alive on 1, hitching a ride. He's going to pay 1 to change size, get that middle point. And looks like he's going to be making another medium move. So that's all 1 action so far. So it looks like we're getting a beam, maybe? All right, we're getting a spender. Gonna choose Thanos first. Oh, looking pretty okay. Thanos is gonna end up blocking 4, and he's gonna block it all. Yuck. All right, Red Skull next, or Zemo. Great attack roll. 2, 4, 6. Red Skull blocking 2, so was that 4 through? Oh, into Zemo. 4 into Zemo. But that is gonna be a recal. Changing that 6 to 3. And only blocking 1. So that's 2 into Zemo. And then he's going to pay for the counterattack here, but he does get the Red Skull attack first, I believe. He is not going to counterattack. And a lot of poison and stun. As a result of that Ant Beam. He really needed that Thanos down. Bleed. So Bleed is going to turn an MC special into an MC Deader Spaghetters. It was a risky play. I think it was the right one. The dice just didn't happen to agree. So with that said, Lizard's going to have to make up for it a little bit. But we do have Thanos first. We'll potentially be walking onto that back point. Or middle point, I mean. And I think he's going to see if he can... Oh, shaking the stagger first. So the bleed here will take Thanos up to 7 damage. If he doesn't get rid of it. Which would, I suppose, kind of be a pseudo MCP special. Thanos has 8 on his healthy side. Mm-hmm. It did. Listen, it was the long con, but it does look like he is MC specialing himself. So he's really got to make some decisions here, because Kingpin and Lizard still have yet to go. Red Skull and Thanos have scrolls. But Mike has to deny 3 points here to get another round. So it looks like the most danger he could potentially get rid of is Kingpin. So a lot of range tools on the mat at the same time. And looks like mind gemming Kingpin away. Weak minds in the crimes, as they say. And it looks like a cosmic portal? Or space gem. Oh yeah, you can't cosmic portal yourself, if I recall. Or can you? Cosmic portal, choose another character within 4. And he'll move Lizard away with the cosmic portal. Okay, so that is going to have... It doesn't look like you put the damage on for the bleed. So Lizard moving up. And looks like Lizard moving a second time. And that is going to be game. All right, so I believe that has Sweden scoring 4 and Crime scoring 5. So that'll end at the end of round 4, 13-17, with one game going to Sweden. It does look like all 4 other games are still going. We're going to check the Longshanks to see if anything else has been reported for this match. And it looks like everyone is still going. No, you are not allowed more than one range. One of each type of tool at a time. So Huggy's game is 5-9. They're in with who winning? All right, so that's Avengers. Okay, on Sweden's team. So that's going to be 2. So if one of these other games ends up finishing up for Sweden, that is going to have them taking an early lead here at the WTC. Three to 7 with Bjorn. And what was that last one you said? And tied at 9 at that final table there, all the way down. So one of the cool things here is there are cameras as well here in the convention hall with 3 massive screens projecting the schedule for the day. So after this round, it does look like we're going into lunch, and it looks like there's actually a pretty considerable amount of time left in the round with 1 hour and 15. Each game, each player gets an hour each. But let's go and look at some of the stats here for this event. There's been a lot of talk of some of the... One moment. So it's these 2, I believe. Just press. With some, at least to me, was a little bit of a surprise. I forget who it was yesterday came by. One of the gents from Denmark was asking me, who do you think the character taken 42 times was? And I was like, Toad. He's like, nope. I was like, oh. Okoye? Nope. Shang-Chi? Nope. Baron Zemo represented on every team, all 42 teams here at WTC. Let me see if I switch over to the Longshanks, if that's going to show what we're looking at. Oh my gosh, look at that. Internet magic. So, 182 players with brace? That can't be right. No, that is right, actually. 182 players with brace, which means 28 champions out there without brace for impact. And then I'm going to try to grab a picture here real quick with these 2 guys. So I will be right back, but here's the stats there on the screen so you can take a look. Okay. So, some statters McGatters here, boys. Baron Zemo. Helmet Zemo, but not Baron Helmet Zemo. They're different, okay? Taken 42 times, followed right up by Toad at 41. One absolute champion out there without a Toad. After that, Black Cat down from being taken 100% of the time, as well as Shang-Chi. 40 teams taking Black Cat and Shang-Chi. And then Wong coming in 5th at 39. Bullseye still way up there. Love to see it. But, surprisingly, Thor, Hero of Midgar, and Namor the Submariner being taken 38 times. There's also 3 Namors out there amongst the 38 with the Time Gem. As far as the most popular Crisis Eye, we have Deadly Legacy Virus being taken by 98 players, followed by Skrulls at 96, and Gamma, ever so popular Gamma, especially for those narrow lists. I was going to say short, but short and tall is very different than wide and narrow. So on those narrow lists, people loving rolling some big old murder boys into Gamma, being taken 87 times, followed by Demons Downtown at 81. Most popular gem, to the surprise of no one, is the Space Gem, taken 39 times. 3 Time Gems, which means all Time Gems have been taken on Namor. 3 Power, 19 Reality, and 21 Mind. Let's see if we have some Corvus out there. Yes, 100% of the time, Corvus Glaive has taken the Reality Gem 8 times. We have a single Ronan the Accuser with a Power Gem. Ebony Maw taken 10 total times. 7 of which is with the Space Gem. And then we also have 100% of the time Thanos with the Space Gem. And then a pretty decent mix. Mostly all Mind Gems taken on Thanos with Space. But we also have 11 Reality Gems with the Space. Black Bull, hi from France. Well, Black Bull, hello and welcome, man. We just finished round 1 here at the WTC. Dracane, hi from France too. Dude, France showing up. Not only that, but as a gentleman, right, with the last name France, Tim France to be precise, I like to see a lot of France in chat. I like to see a lot of France in chat. Yeah. Yeah. Good to see you guys. Welcome. I know our friends in the U.S., most of them probably sleeping still, as it is what? It's 11 a.m., just about here in Denmark, which would put the East Coast at about 5 in the morning. So I know we're going to be seeing some of the American folk coming on here probably any time, definitely after lunch. You know what? Let me go ahead and change where the chat box is so it is not covering up that oop, wrong one. Chat box. Nope, also wrong one. Let's try a third time. Nope. Come on, chat. Fine, we'll move the logo down to here. There we go. Now it can be seen the whole time and doesn't interfere with the chat. Yeah, like that? Is it that, Dracane? Most of the time, pop at 1 p.m. French. Nice. So yeah, over here back at the, let's actually check. There are a handful of affiliations not being used. No Drax, no Draculas. Who would have guessed that a character that's not released yet, not being utilized? Same with the Lost Legion of Mephisto. However, New Mutants not showing up here at all. Hey, that is loud in my brain. But Mr. Blanc, thank you for the follow. Hi from France as well. Thank you for streaming this. Absolutely. Very, very, very happy to be here. Once again, a massive thank you to the community for helping us get here, as well as the WTC with Gil, his staff, and Dr. Norbert. Really going out of their way to make sure that Professional Casual Network could be here at the WTC, being able to provide this coverage. So thank you to everyone that helped support us to be able to get here and to be able to be streaming this great event. The biggest, the largest, the girthiest Marvel Crisis Protocol event in the world. Nice to see Midnight Suns making it in. Love that faction. Same. The one that absolutely breaks my heart, but to no surprise, is Sentinels not being represented at all. It's a dang shame. Dang shame. Those bots are so close to my heart, but they will not be here at the WTC this weekend. As far as players playing certain affiliations, 32 players playing Asgard. 32 players. The majority of teams, 3/4 of the teams, having an Asgard player. Cabal following at 23. Web Warriors, I think probably a pretty obvious one for a team format, right? 27 players. X-Men Blue at 22. 15 Defenders. 7 X-Force. 22 Avengers. 15 groupings of Criminals. 10 Black Order. 5 Wakanda. 5 Convocation. 20 Guardians of said Galaxy. And then 14 Spider Foes. Now, you may be saying, Tim, that doesn't make sense. Those numbers don't add up. Well, remember, especially like in this last match with the gentleman from Ireland, Mike, he could run Spider Foes or Crime Syndicate. So those numbers will not, in fact, meet 210. You know what? Just for posterity's sake, let's count up all those numbers. So we have 32 Asgard, 23 Cabal, 27 Web Warriors, 22 X-Men, 15 Defender, 7 X-Force, 22 Avengers, 15 Crimes, 10 Black Order, 5 Wakanda, 5 Convocation, 20 Guardians, and 14 Spider Foes. So actually pretty surprising, out of the 210 players, only 7 dual affiliates.
Sad day to celebrate a year together. Also makes sense. Have fun everyone at the WTC.
Guy, I was legit a little heartbroken when I heard you were not going to be here. I was very much looking forward to meeting you. For those of you that don't know, Guy is one of the main community leaders of MCP in Israel, and he was also nominated as one of our heroes of the hobby. That was. It's very loud. It's louder in my ears too. So, very, very sorry to hear you weren't going to be able to make it this year, man. I was really looking forward to meeting you in person. But listen, next year, hopefully, that opportunity will arise. But dude, thank you so much for the resub, and yeah, your 1 year anniversary of being subbed on stream. So I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate that, sir. So something I apparently am just too stupid to realize. There's another column of affiliations, literally right on the screen, dead center. Something I should definitely be able to see. We also have 12 Shield players, 8 Hydra, 6 big bad Apocalypse boys out there, 6 Midnight Suns, 4 Brotherhood, 4 Inhumans, 4 Hellfire Club, 2 A-Force, 1 Dark Dimension, 1 Big Daddy Dormammu out there, 1 unaffiliated Rebel, 1 Winter Guard, and 1 Weapon Axe. So I went through this whole first column and was adding everything up, and I was like, oh, there's only 7 people that went dual affiliation. Completely missing that there was another whole column of affiliations. So, you know, I don't know what you would expect here from the Professional Casual Network, but that is it.
2 A-Force now?
2 A-Force.
Okay, cool.
2 A-Force. Halts of Drac, Mephisto, New Mutants, and Sentinels not used. That's right, Glenn. That is right. I mean, Dracula's not actually out yet, right?
No.
and Mephisto's not out.
Correct.
So New Mutants and Sentinels are. So they're really the only two that are unrepresented. So shame on everyone at the WTC this year for not having a player on their roster running some Sentinels.
Did you check and see if everybody was taking Baron? Did you double check?
Oh, I didn't check that tactics card yet. Team tactics should be 42 we're looking for.
Right there.
All right. So every team also does now have I am a Baron after all. But yeah, so we were seeing 100% of time gems have been taken on Namor. Space gems, actually a pretty decent mix. 70% of the time, Ebony Maw has it every time. But 100% of the time, Thanos does. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the rounds. So, looks like we have only one secure, no, two. Make sure there's no more. Okay, so two fully secured games. Number one being Team England, 51% affiliated. So that is Pat Dunford, that is Peter Sidaway, Steve, Patrick, Joe, and Connor taking their first round win up against Canada and the Alpha Flight. Gregory, Dave, Weekend Demo, love that name, Kia, and Blaine going 3-1 there. So they could still come out 3-2. There's still one game potentially finishing up. Sweden still 2-0. Up against the Banshee Bones in Ireland. We also have the French Gambit leading 2-0 up against the Finister Six.
These names are really golden.
These are really, really, really good names. Really good names. Also 2-0 is the Invincible Iron Brew. Shout out to Iron Brew, an iron supplemented soft drink that tastes aggressively, at least to me, of cotton candy. It is, we had a viewer in the UK that sent us 3 6-packs of the 20-ounce bottles of Iron Brew. So we got to try that around the network. And listen, it is aggressively sweet, but it also uses, I believe, it uses both fake sugar and real sugar to really maximize it. And listen, it is a sweet beverage that will help your bones play even harder with additional iron. 1-1 with the Fantastic Five and the Jutland Juggernauts. Oh, and that was the Last Minute Men. Let's take a look at some of our homeboys here, looking for our U.S. team. So it is 1-1, all tied up with the Invaders going up against the Belgium Patch-Up Boys. So that is Mike DeLuca, Phil Inyoung from iWarGame, Mr. Sheik himself, Trader to Canada, and Hyper Viper. So a little bit of a quick story here. This was both announced in Gil's opening ceremony, as well as Lucas Sheik came over to let us know. Lucas is from Canada, but playing for the Americans. As a traitor to his nation, the other teams from Canada have put a bounty out on Lucas Sheik. So any player that beats Lucas Sheik this weekend will not only get a beer from one of the Canadian teams, but will also get some delightful maple-flavored treats from Simon Jerry. So we absolutely love that. Looks like the Pork Roll Protocol is off to an early lead here.
Art.
With Art finishing his game. Art is running Asgard. But, you know, we love our Pork Roll boys. So that is Jeff Trost, Rob Reale.
And it was a mirror.
And it was a mirror. So talking to them yesterday, the only counter to Asgard that Pork Roll has is, in fact, Art, who is a superb Asgardian pilot. And it looks like it worked out because Art won a Asgard mirror. But yeah, Pork Roll Protocol being Mr. Toast, Jeff Trost, Rob Reale, Jin, Ben Laka, and Art. Zero Cool. Off to an early lead there up against Poland. Looks like no games reported yet for the Misfits from the UK and the Swedish Leftovers. My roommate happens to be on that team. We also have Specky Bams up against Team New York City, currently leading 2-0. UK stomping in some American teeth. England Excalibur up 1-0 up against the Bunga Bunga Boys. And then the Finland Wolverines currently leaving 1-0 against the Austrian. All right, I'm going to try this. The Austria Unglablick.
You watch your mouth.
I'm sorry. I do apologize for any time I've been tricked into saying things I shouldn't. But yeah, let's look at our Canadian friends. The Montreal Shark Tank currently up 1-0 up against Team United Nations. With Simon, Nick Menard, Nick Patry, Deviate Nick R, and Dutch. Who knows? I don't know this for certain. Dutch could also be their fourth Nick. It could be one Simon and four Nicks. It probably not, but I mean, that's over 50% Nick, which means Montreal Shark Tank is officially Nick affiliated, as they do have over 50% of their roster as Nick. The Hussars of the Galaxy, 2-0 up against the Ice Guardians. We got to meet those guys yesterday. They're super nice. Canadian Beavers currently leading 1-0 against the Danish Haig Heroes. Italy. The Italy Maestros also leading 1-0 against Germany and the Crisis Protocol A-Holes. Denmark Ragnarok also leading 2-1 up against France, and there are two kinds of French players. Oh my God, I love these names. They did?
By 1, 16-17.
Oh man, so it does look like we do have a second game in for Polkrel. Ben ending up taking the L by a single point. So a hell of a close game over there. Hell of a close game. But yeah, guys, so it is going to be the lunch break after this. So we will be back, I believe, at 1 p.m. GMT plus 1, which would be 7 a.m. East Coast time. So we're going to be taking a break till then, but do not worry, do not fret. We will be back at 1 p.m. GMT 1 for 2 more rounds of MCP here at the World Team Championship in Copenhagen, Denmark, hosted and organized by Gil and the incredible staff on the WTC board, including Dr. Norbert, Soren, and a handful of others. So a great job there. We are going to go offline for that time. I don't want you guys to have to sit in stream for 2 hours, and that also makes a very easy export for this first game that we've streamed here at the WTC. But we're going to be talking to some players. We're going to be seeing a bunch of different nations represented here on stream this weekend, especially going into day 2. But yeah, there's still a metric ton of Marvel Crisis Protocol to come. And we will be back in 2 very short hours. So make sure to hydrate a little bit, grab a little bit of caffeine if it's early where you are, if it's late where you are. Also, grab some caffeine. If you're unaware as well, WTC or MCPWTC.com, you can get more information on the WTC. This is an all-inclusive package for an MCP event where your lodging and several meals are included, including the dinner Friday night, breakfast, lunch, and dinner Saturday, and I believe breakfast and lunch on Sunday as well. But a lot more to come. Stockholm Syndrome from Sweden. Looks like no games reported so far. We are just going to refresh quick here before we go offline for a little bit. And we actually have a lot done now. Okay, in that refresh, in that very little time, in those 10 minutes, a lot of games were reported. So we obviously knew Sweden, good under Steve, was going to be going ahead. They are 3-0. They are 1-0 now. Poland, with Hussars of the Galaxy, also winning 3 games, so they are 1-0. Stockholm Syndrome, Sweden coming out strong across the board here, going 3-0. Team England, 51%. That is Pat Dunford's team, also taking a win in round 1. London B from the United Kingdom, also taking their first win. Specky Bams from the UK and Scotland, taking a win to start the event off. And the Invaders from the America, going in strong in round 1. Canadian Beavers, the French Gambit, Invincible Iron Brew, Italy Maestro, England Excalibur. Wait, this can't be right. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Italy Maestro, England Excalibur, London Spitfire, Advanced R&R, love that name, the Montreal Shark Tank, and the Finland Wolverines, all taking their first round. It looks like we have a whole number of games. That is 15 teams in so far, which means 30 total, right? So that means about 2/3 of the game are reported and in. There's still a number out there that are in fact undecided, including the Denmark Ragnarok, the amazing Spaindermen. Go figure. There are two kinds of French players: Pork Roll Protocol, Misfits, Swedish Leftovers, and the Fantastic Five, as well as Team Poland Casual Play and Jutland Juggernauts, still in it to win it here in round 1. All right, guys. Once again, we will be back. Hey, Guy. We will be back in a little under 2 hours, where we'll be starting round 2 here for the WTC 2024. So, yeah, we love you guys. Thank you once again hugely to the community for helping us get here, as well as the WTC staff for getting us the rest of the way here and helping provide everything that we would need to have stream go off well. Remember, we are counting every MCP special that's going to be happening on stream this weekend. So anytime a character is left alive on 1 at the end of an opponent's turn, we're going to be stacking those up. And once again, a couple bounties out there on Lucas Chic. Simon Jerry providing Canadian maple flavored treats. And I believe the other Canadian team is providing a beer for any player that beats the Canadian nation's trader, Lucas Chic, this weekend. Let's actually take a look at the Invaders games and see if there is already a bounty claimed. So on the Invaders for game 1, they did go 2-2. Lucas Chic did, in fact, lose his first game. So that means Steve, running Hydra, getting some prizes from Simon and the other Canadians. So well done. Way to lead out strong. Hyper Viper won his game, as well as Wout, and Mike DeLuca won his. So In Young and Nikki are still playing over there, but that does, in fact, have Hyper Viper, Mike, and... Oh, no, so that's not decided, right? That's 2-2? Oh, yeah. Yes, the Invaders aren't quite in it yet. I thought it said 3-0 on that first page. But with team games, things are a little bit wonky this time. This should be called way too early. Yes, it is. Here's the good news, Kara. Also, it's great to see you. We're going to be taking a break here for lunch. And we're going to be back around 1 p.m. for round 2 and then 3. I believe there's not much of a break in between 2 and 3, so we should be going right from one to the other. But yeah, there's about 48 minutes left in this round. With the clocks here at WTC, each player gets an hour time. So 2-hour rounds, plus setup and stuff. And then an hour for lunch. So guys, we will be back 1 p.m. GMT +1, 7 a.m. Eastern. Love you all. Thank you, everyone, especially France, really showing up really showing up in chat today, so love to see that. But yeah, we'll be back 1 p.m. I love you guys. We'll see you soon. Doop.
According to Greek mythology, if lunch options are chicken meat or German sausages, you have to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Don't hate that. Don't hate that. It's not the worst one I've heard, but come on, Brat. You can do better. Oh, so this is just kind of its own like little secluded part of the beach. Anything Tim Robinson is like the cat's meow, you know? Player wants to use a team reroll. Okay. Unchanneled Fury. Why can't I throw to this dude? I forgot to pick up the ball.
Close the door. They have to be invited in. Hey, can I ask you a question real quick? Can I have a hug? All right. We did it. That's what you wanted. Ooh, and just think of the synergy there, right? People doing sound redemptions while the... He's like the tank. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Link Stat, man, what are these names? Link Static. He had a shock thing. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. Kip Killigan. Yep, he's the sneaky guy. Yep, I do remember that. Vasquez. I don't remember that. Pretty sure that's an Aliens reference, but sure. Oh my gosh, they have the names of these things? Oh, I forget the names. Archer, that was his name. He's the leader. That's right, he had the little arm crossbow thing. That's right. So, by all means... Fuck. He beat me at a game. It's not quite rock, paper, scissors. It's just scissors. He scissored me better than I scissored him, and I made him mod. People surrounding me that can help me figure out those.
Is that really the time?
No, it's this hasn't reset from Eastern.
Oh.
So it's an hour ahead.
Woo.
3:21.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
House of W says it is now. I'm making a recipe for Paint Jam.
Do not do that. Do not do that. I'm not responsible for this. Don't put that on me. Terrible.
But if you need to head out, by all means. I really appreciate you stopping by. This is always.
How long have I been on?
I don't really know.
It feels.
According to Greek mythology, there was once a king that was only 12 inches tall.
Oh yeah?
He ruled poorly and made so many mistakes. He was a terrible king, but he made a great ruler.
I had a feeling it was going the ruler route. I do like that, actually. Yeah, pretty all right. Pretty all right.
And his name is John.
Dudes in there that either have a bunch of
Tim,
money or...
I just got fired. They gave me a bag of used coffee. They said it was grounds for termination.
Hey, Dr. D. I am on a one... But if you are putting money in the front door of the 401k and the back door Roth IRA, you're really kind of DPing it, right?
something stupid. Ever.
Hello, you did it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so maybe we go inside.
Yeah, get in there, hide, yeah.
No, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Here at Fraggle Rock. Forgot that, actually, please clip that. I wish we, had an SMG or
Because we are playing organized play, Tim.
Right.
We have decided here at the Power Face, through no decision of my own, everybody else's, we will be playing strictly organized play rules for the most part. Moment of silence for drop off. Big rips.
Miss you drop off.
I only got to do it once, so I'm very upset. That is mentioned. I am of course still new to this game.
The pollen in Boston has been nothing short of astronomical. That might actually still just be trash metal. I'm a dingus. Don't mind me. I'm going to grab the correct paint, which is speed metal, I promise. Again, I've used it so much it's worn off. I should probably shake it.
Bagging on Cyclops the whole time. That makes me feel real bad about myself. All right, I'm gonna kill your fucking dog now. So, as any good ex, obviously I try to figure out how to lash out immediately and painfully, and I think that it's a good idea that I won't get caught for. So we're gonna rocket punch that fucking dog. So we're gonna spend 3 power for a strength 7 attack.
each 6 hours. It starts at 10, that's 4. With probably a break for lunch. I feel like those ducks were like laughing at me.
I
Scupper
heard
Lake.
there was a slap wager.
Times you will. So we still don't know where this crate is, or this chest. I think it's in the cave with more gnolls. Also, if you ever get the opportunity, make sure to get as many gnoll ears as you possibly can. They are so good alchemically. I don't need a rotten carrot.
Isn't like stocked up on energy.
Right.
Like she's got enough for next round, but
she's got enough for binary form.
Yeah. I was really hoping to have her do something